hold 15 on your sub-bottom profiler there, Jake.
Yep.
We're going up the hill now.
Do we have an identification from our
gear?
scientists ashore?
No, I think that's just biology. Can't tell.
Typhonophore. The most scary biology for ROV pilots.
Yeah.
Freaks me out every time.
Good eye, though.
Yeah.
Please call that out every time.
Having flashbacks already.
Yeah. What's my head keep drifting off to the left there? Help if I had auto heading on. Thought I did. Wrong button already.
One of our scientists ashore who's in the chat chimed in that those bivalve looking things are probably Acesta bivalves. Thank you, Amanda.
Hmm. Acesta?
Yeah, Acesta.
Acesta bivalve. Okay. Adding that one to the old brain bank.
We also have a note in the science chat that maybe once we get a little bit more distance put in between us and the last time we sat down, it might be worth zooming in on some of the rocks and looking for some brachiopods for one of our partners will be collecting for. He has a few species that he's requesting for collection, but I think it'd be good to get going towards our next waypoint a little bit.
Sure thing.
Speed up just a hair there.
Are we in the normal lighting configuration at the moment?
I believe so.
Normal what?
I think lasers are off though. This might be the only thing.
The lighting setup.
Yeah.
See the shadow on the bottom of the frame?
Yeah. Pretty sure that's the camera operator.
Well, I think that might be a shadow from the camera itself.
Yeah, we were discussing that last night. We were playing around. We had the lights on deck.
No, I guess it's not.
It's a shadow from...
Maybe the Thurber cam? No, that's high. It's between the two lights. So.
It might be from like the DSC or something, but we couldn't really notice it on the deck.
Yeah.
At least with the vessel lights on. And then after playing with them for 5 minutes, we were all seeing spots anyways, because each light is 1,500 lumens or something like that. I had 6 of them on.
That'll do it.
So would you like the scale lasers on?
Yes, if we could get the scale lasers on, that would be wonderful.
Coming on.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a not a shadow, but a dark spot where the light's not casting. I don't know.
Yeah, I had one pointed there earlier, just to alleviate that shadow, but then it blew out the top right of the HD camera where it was coming in. It might also be we have the lights spaced out a little farther than usual for, because we have that DSC on the front of the vehicle. So we also decided that if we...
Oh, and we're going uphill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we decided if we pointed them in more that it would sacrifice we wouldn't get as good of digital still pictures.
Gotcha.
So you can zoom in just a hair to alleviate it if you want, if that helps.
I think it's probably better for the science to have the wide field of view on the transects. Correct me if I'm wrong, Science Department.
Yeah, we like a pretty wide field of view is good.
Speaking of the transects, we are 100 meters since the end of the last transect, so anytime moving forward, when you want one, just let us know.
Perfect. I was actually about to ask. So yeah, now that we seem to be moving well, let's go ahead and just start one.
Okay, good with that,
Yeah, that
Dan?
sounds great.
Okay. All right, Taylor Ann.
Alrighty, that'll be the transect number 3.
What we discussed, Steve, was we need to put a couple lights underneath the vehicle.
Yep.
And point them forward,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be cool.
kind of like your fog lights. So we do that on a lot of vehicles, and it get good lighting right close in front of the vehicle without blowing the lights down through the camera view.
Mm-hmm.
So if you point them down, like if you have them way out
Yeah,
and
they
point
come
it
into
in,
the top of frame.
yeah.
Someday I'll ask you to get a really long manipulator on there so you can reach way out over and backlight things.
Someday we're gonna have lights that tilt so we can adjust them on the fly for whether we're going flat or looking
Sure.
at a cliff or going downhill.
That'd be great.
More work for the artist pilot.
Yeah, so I can't be bothered to reach all the way over there for the touchscreen. I don't have it. They don't give me a mouse or a trackball.
So have we dropped the transect start yet?
Sorry, yes, the transect has begun.
Okay, perfect. Just
Did
double
I,
checking.
Maybe pick up the speed a little.
yeah, it looks like it.
What's the what's the start time for that transect? I didn't see it in the observations for the.
I have
there
it
it is.
at
I see it.
1925.
Yep, 1925.
1929. Thank you.
Ooh, that's too fast.
Perfect. Oh yeah, we've got some urchins now. We haven't seen those yet. Perfect. Thank you, Taylor.
Nice little McToven paying us a visit as well.
Don't you, can you stop him up for a minute till I get back
Roger.
out front there?
Bridge nav.
I think that's all the way down on Jake.
Hold position. Thank you. I think the moves will be a lot
Are
quicker
these
anyway.
crumpet
Roman.
sponges, Meredith?
You know,
Or plate
it might
sponges,
be
maybe?
like a plate Michaeli form. We've been seeing a bunch of them. And I know it's something that we've sampled something similar to that, but I don't think we have a clear ID on it yet.
Okay.
Once we're off transect, I think that is one of the ones that's in our collection targets.
Great. Good to know.
The slope here seems to be kind of rolling up and down.
Yeah, on our way to AJ, we kind of have generally going up slope, but kind of really gently sloping mounds that we'll be going over. Happy to see mixed habitat though, so that's good.
Another yellow star ecliptus. Now if we could just get some coral mixed in with these sponges.
Yeah, we've had little Swifty sticks that were closer to some of the methane CP looking
Let's start them back up.
carbonate structures.
What's that?
Start them back up.
Yeah, right.
Bridge nav.
Tilt up just a little, Jake, please.
Step north 100 meters, 0.3 knots. Thank you.
And while we were collecting a sponge, I did see something very suspiciously Paragorgia-like in the distance. So maybe eventually.
Fingers crossed.
We also have Amanda in the science chat saying if we do come across more of the yellow thin looking bases, the neon yellow bases, that she'd be interested in getting a collection.
Okay.
She does not suspect that they're star calyptus. They are more floppy, thin, and fibrous than you would expect, I'm assuming, for the glass sponge.
Normal rules of transect would suggest that either will be in like all mud, so that there's almost nothing for Tom to count, or will
You
be.
may have to speed him up just a little bit now, or I can slow down.
Which one would you like?
Better if you speed him up and I keep a constant
Bridge nav?
transect speed.
Got a tug on you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to slow down, sorry.
I'm
Yes,
going
could
to
we
pop off
increase
for our
speed to 0.5?
call, and I'll
Okay.
be back.
Thank you.
Enjoy your call, Lizzie.
We just have to pause the transect here for a second while we. What's
Okay.
happening?
Just letting the ship kind of catch up.
Roger that.
Seem to,
Auto out, freak out.
yeah. We had a little glitch there. Never seen it do that before.
No, usually goes down.
Oh, it just dropped out.
Oh, entirely, huh?
Strange.
Yeah, the team that does the video analysis is really good at stitching together pauses and all of that. So
Not sure what I did there.
for anyone following along at home, we're working on we do a call it quantitative transect, and this is a method where we have the lovely pilots fly the ROV at a pretty steady pace and distance above the seafloor. And we try to cover about 200 meters, and everything that passes through that center part of the screen will be counted by a team at NOAA's Southwest Fisheries Science Center and identified. And because we do this method across all of the different locations where we do ROV research, it allows us to make comparisons about the coral and sponge and fish and other invertebrate densities and the habitat types among these areas to get a better picture of what's going on coastwide.
Usually for these transects, the computer flies the ROV and the pilot sits on his hands.
Shh, don't give the secrets away.
Computer does a much better job. Except when it doesn't.
Yeah, and then it does a very, very bad job.
Okay, I think we're back in the box now. He's still moving, is he?
Roger that.
You want to set him to 0.3 again and see if we can.
Copy. Bridge nav.
Okay, resume transect.
Reduce speed to
Thank you.
0.3. Thank you.
Computer, fly ROV at 0.3.
The computer can't chase fish though, like the pilots can.
No. But I can fly a razor straight line. The pilots cannot.
Well, I'm sure the crew at Southwest Fisheries Science Center will thank both the pilots and the computer.
One of the beautiful things about a two-body system, there's virtually no external forces from the tether on the ROV. If we have everything balanced, right?
That is super important.
An
Although,
octopus?
at least
Octopus.
you're, oh, octopus.
Oh, octopus.
What I saw this morning, it looked like it was pretty calm there, but the two-body system, you can have the ship rolling quite a bit and Herc will stay nice and stable on the seafloor.
Yeah, it's nice. Sometimes we'll have Argus really hopping around, pitching and heaving, and still getting great smooth footage.
Yeah, the Argus depth is changing about 1/2 a meter at the moment, very gently.
Yeah, sometimes we get like 2, 3, even 4 meters bouncing up and down, and then you're stuck on top of a cliff, and you're like, your altitude's only 7 or 8, and you're like, whoa. All of a sudden, the ground's right in front of you.
And we know we're officially out of our weather window.
Yeah.
It's an interesting
Herc depth, yeah.
oscillation on
So it's like a sine wave of the auto out.
PID loop, not
Yeah, PID.
not quite dialed. It's pretty sensitive to our ballast. We need to pick up a rock, a big rock.
Maybe we can find one that has some good biology attached to it. And then we'll get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
More ballast and a sample.
That's Dan's specialty.
Big rocks.
Big rock with a lot of biology on it. Cramming it in the box somehow. Always manages to get it.
Can you turn that screen a little more, Jake? Can't see the edge of it there. It's not in its proper location. It slides over more to the left. I'll live with it. You also have ROV Pilot Plus on Grafana that will give you more info. There you go.
Yep.
Oh, Ben cleaned up the vertical velocity.
Definitely dialed in.
Yeah, that should be a straight line too.
Steve, it looks like we don't have wire cam, which isn't critical at the moment, but it is nice to have an eye on it.
Copy that. I'm going to, I see Al back there, so
Yeah.
I'll just pop back and let him know. He can
Sure.
go reset it downstairs.
One of our scientists ashore is commenting some of the fish we've been seeing, the ones with the really silvery sides, are hake. And it's somewhat unusual for them to be this far south. So Kurt Whitmire, who's one of our scientists ashore, will be doing a watch later during this cruise, says the hake survey folks should be interested to see all the hake this far south. Hake are a major commercial fishery species here.
You want me to bump the speed?
I don't know, yeah, I guess so.
Bridge
Quick.
now?
Jake could also come down 5 meters.
Coming down.
Bridge now. Could we increase speed to 0.5 and also extend this move another 100 meters? Thank you.
It's a sweet view out of the deck camera there, Steve.
Yeah, that's nice. A little bit of humanity inside the vein.
Yeah.
On satellite feed 3, you can see the view off of the ship right now.
So what's
Need more
the
monitors to see all of these.
what's the history of this island? Can't even remember the name of it at the moment.
Anacapa.
Anacapa, yeah.
Anacapa?
Yeah.
I actually am not that familiar with the history of Anacapa Island. I know it is part of the Channel Islands. I can pull up here. They gave us some history to look at. Unfortunately, Lizzie, who is our expert on the Channel Islands here, is on the 12:30 call right now.
There's a, looks like a lighthouse on the, assuming that's the north end of it, or east end of it. I'm not sure which way the camera's pointing. Must have been a very lonely job.
I believe geologically at the last glacial maximum, this was still connected to the mainland.
I think that's north, right? North of us?
Yeah, I think so.
And
that's correct.
Is that South Anacapa, that island that's framed up?
There's a bunch of little ones, not sure which is called which.
I can do a zoom on that that lighthouse and that arch over there, but it's not so.
Did you zoom on it earlier?
No, I haven't yet, but it's not so smooth on this controller, so don't judge me here.
It's interesting stalked sponges that just went off the bottom.
Yeah, there were.
I like those ones. They always look like something out of Dr. Seuss.
That's 150 meters elapsed. If you, I thought I heard you say 200, so we'll continue another 50.
Yeah, let's go another 50.
Great.
Come up just a couple meters, Jake. Oh, you're coming up all the time. Sorry. He's on it.
Let me know when you want me to slow back down to 0.3.
Yeah, I think we can do that now.
Roger. Bridge nav.
It's a nice potential line view there in Argus.
Slow speed to 0.3 knots. Thank you.
We did just see a brachiopod, so hopefully they stick around for when we end the transect. We also just passed a wrecked soul.
Little bump.
So we're gonna get steeper here.
Yeah, looks like it.
Oh,
More nice sponges.
was a big coral, I think, off to the right.
No, I didn't see it. Being
That or a
distracted
big
by the
fishing
sponges.
net. I just barely saw it when it went out of the camera.
Yeah, I was worried that there was a line caught on that rock, but I couldn't quite tell. Staring at Argus. See anything?
Lizzie said she thought she saw a paragorgia on the periphery as we were moving along, so that might have been it.
Can bring your head to the left a few clicks if you want. Seem to have an offset there.
Camera just ran away from me.
Yeah, I saw that. Strange.
Did that by itself, did it?
Yep.
Mm. It could be bad if it keeps doing that. It'll open the motor fuse.
There's a little coral that just went below the lasers. That's Swiftia. And it looks like some old line tied around a rock. Or maybe a coral skeleton being overgrown. Yeah, it looks pretty stiff. Abby is checking
here
the
you
list,
go.
ready to pounce.
Yeah, that's what I saw off the camera view earlier.
Much better than.
Oh, wow.
We are just at almost
a
at
black coral.
200 meters here.
Oh, what a perfect time.
Oh, wow, look at that. This is Lizzie. Yay!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is.
And we're at 200
Big
meters
black
if you want to
coral.
pause here and take a
That's
look
a
at it.
Christmas tree.
Nice.
You copy that, Shore?
Pardon?
We're at 200 meters if you want to pause and take a look. Otherwise, we can keep going and end the transect.
Let's just go. We could probably just go ahead and end the transect here and take a look at these. Get a nice zoom
Roger.
on them.
Bridge nav.
It's a nice size.
Yep. I've got a
Hold
little
position.
Christmas tree crabs.
Thank you.
So this is the Christmas tree coral. It is Antipathes dendrocristos. It comes in a variety of colors.
We often see those. Are these squat lobsters of some kind?
I think they're a crab that is commonly found on here, on these corals.
Yeah, Kurt Whitmire from Fisheries was just saying, with ornaments. It's a Christmas tree with ornaments.
Gonna do a DVL reset here.
Roger.
And this is another one of the species of coral that can be quite long-lived.
Great shot.
So it's almost like at the skeleton near the bigger parts. It's a different color. It's like a whiter. Maybe there's something like growing on it. This location.
So probably just, yeah, some of the tissue growing over it.
Yeah.
I had wondered if we had passed, before I jumped back on SPL, one that kind of looks like that scraggly piece. That's a lighter color, like a dead piece of this kind of coral with stuff overgrowing it.
It's quite a bit smaller.
It was just a little twig. Yeah, it was very small compared to this.
This was the coral skeleton that I saw just a few minutes ago on transect. Was another one of these, just the skeleton overgrown.
And just to confirm, we did hit 200 meters on this transect, correct?
Roger that. 200 meters.
Okay, awesome.
Can we kill the lasers for some beauty shots?
Yes. Okay.
Check if science is okay with that.
Yeah.
Science? Yep.
I'm
Thanks.
okay.
Thanks.
Coming off.
And pull that DSC up on the.
I just had it over here.
Oh, you had it? Oh,
Yeah.
sweet. That's framed up all right.
Yeah, got the one in the background too.
We're getting some good digital stills with our super megapixel camera on loan from OSU.
Wonderful.
Does it have just an
We're
auto
always-
shutter, or is someone there hitting a button?
What's that?
It's on every 30 seconds,
Is
I
it-
believe.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. We're always wondering and looking for the next photo we want to use as a cover to a report or
Right.
that kind of thing. So these beauty shots are always welcomed.
You want any zooms or anything?
Can we zoom in and see if we can get a nice view of some of the polyps up close?
Oh, sorry, I
I don't
missed
know if we
where.
can get that close, but
Like just polyp zoom.
just see
Oh.
if we can get some of the polyp structure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does seem to be slightly different color, like a whiter around the base.
That's full zoom. At our current.
Nice.
I can, let me
That's wonderful, thank you.
disable some of the thrust here so it stops shaking.
Let me know if you need me to come out, Dan.
No, see if she'll, there's a balance there where it will hold still, but it won't vibrate.
Nice.
Somewhere in there.
It is very Christmas tree-like.
Yeah, these this species of black coral is really compared to a lot of the ones you see down here. So it looks like Tom has rejoined us just in time for the Christmas tree coral that he'll get to count because we saw it right as the transept ended.
And he'll get to estimate the size.
Oh, there's that smaller crustacean tucked in there as well. Right
Yep.
above.
Like a decorator crab of some kind right above. Tom says, woohoo, Christmas tree coral.
It even looks like it's
There's
dusted
actually-
with a light bit of snow.
Mm-hmm. Christmas in
That's a
October.
great shot. I'm ready to call it a year and celebrate Christmas.
So in answer to the crab, there's been a debate about what kind of crabs these are. Erica has chimed in and said they are a Galatheid crab.
They come a bit wider.
Yeah, sorry, she floated up a bit there.
But they are not Munida, the other common species of Galatheid you see. All right. Lizzie, are we ready to kind of proceed on towards the next waypoint?
Yes, I think so.
Roger, I'm gonna go 033. So that'll be towards AJ, and then I figure we can then go, I don't know if you've got high pack ups, Steve, on
Yep.
channel 3.
Yep.
And then go a bit north-northwest, so we just hit a mound
I
feature.
like that.
And then we go over.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So a little bit northeast, follow the contour, and then more northwest. Yeah, I like that plan.
Sounds good.
And also feel free, if we're looking around and collecting and we're in a good like depth band and range for seeing the corals and sponges we want to collect, if we want to follow that more east-westward, then, you know, ascending out of that depth band too. So
Sure, yeah, and just let me know if there's a place that you're happy and we can explore that.
So then Charlie Brown Christmas tree in the background.
All right, so we're going to set up at 033.
Roger.
it might even, do you think it's a sponge, Meredith, growing on the Christmas tree coral, or maybe like on a dead branch potentially, like an encrusting sponge? Just looks.
You want to zoom on it, Dave?
Sure.
Sure, let's
Yeah,
zoom on
maybe
it.
a quick zoom, yeah. And there's a anemone too. Yeah.
Oh, this coral
Yeah, so it looks like a dead branch.
on a dead sponge.
Oh, and what's looking at us? Is that a face? That's a
Eggs on
fish.
Yeah.
What?
Some kind of egg sacs?
And some eyes.
It's full zoom.
Yeah, we got
yeah, those are
shark eggs.
Yeah, shark eggs, right?
And a little fish.
A weird
Bashful.
little fish.
Tom
says it's
Leidig
an
is saying, yeah, how do you say that, Meredith?
Iceland,
Yeah.
Icelanded
Your guess.
sculpin.
Icelanded, sculpin.
Emphasis on the eye.
What are those little pea pod looking things?
Egg sacs.
Oh, they're so cute. What's that?
Coming wider.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, it almost looks like this coral is growing on or adjacent to like a dead coral skeleton on the bottom. Which is odd and interesting.
Yeah, we've seen a few dead skeletons. These look to be pretty large and healthy mostly, but we have seen a few smaller dead skeletons like the one in the background here.
It's a good skeleton rock back there. So fit in the bio box. Adjust our ballast.
I think that skeleton would stick way out of the bio box
033.
drawer.
Might cause some drag.
Turning the lasers back on.
Roger.
Some bowling pins.
There's a little one. We've got different age classes around. Another one of the Christmas tree corals, but this one is much younger, presumably.
Captain said to ignore that.
For you, Steve.
Is it 1 p.m.? Captain said to ignore that.
Roger.
Yeah, it's one.
Okay, ready to move?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Bridge now. Let's step 100 meters, bearing 033 and speed 0.3 knots. Thank you.
Yeah, I think generally overall for this dive, I think between points AJ and AK will be interesting as well. So I think ultimately if we make it to point AK, I would be happy by 8 p.m. or I guess like 7:30 when we have to pull.
We can do that.
At least in that general region, yeah. Because I'm trying to balance between, it's kind of like the beginning of like a little mini canyon where I see more rugosity, but also trying to spend as much time in the deeper depths as possible since we do have some previous dives here, but those submersibles and those vehicles were limited to 350 meters and above. So I was trying to maximize our time in this depth band, but once we're above, I think heading over in that direction.
Okay.
What vehicles are you guys using that are 350 meters?
Di and Tom would know better. Those were typically National Marine Fisheries Service surveys. I don't know the name of the vehicles. They might pop them into the science chat and I'll let you know.
It was the
Delta submersible. Tom, right on cue.
Those are the manned vehicles, are they?
Yep.
Two-man sub.
Yeah, a little two-man sub.
Okay, I'm going to pop off again in preparation for the next on Nautilus event that we're going to have on Monday. So I'm going to leave everything up to my trusty watch lead Meredith, but I'll be back in about 30 minutes.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks. Tom has just chimed in that the max depth on the Delta was 365 meters.
Very specific.
More of these my Kaylee looking sponges here.
You know the drill with auto XY, Jake?
Sort of. I don't know.
So I have auto XY engaged here, over here, and I've hit a step forward move in to go 200 meters, but so if you wanted to get out of that and pause, you could just cycle the button, for example.
Yeah.
So that cancels the move and the ROV just holds like it is now.
Okay.
And then you hit step forward again and it will resume the move.
So auto XY will just hold your position if you're not.
What's that?
Auto XY will just hold your position if you're not taking steps on the screen.
Correct, yeah. It commands 0 velocity.
Okay.
Or if you just want to come out of it and then take control. So I have the other autos on. It'll affect the altitude a little when it coming in out of auto XY. But not hugely. And that's random there. And then that one controls the speed. So that seems to be a good setting for 0.3 at the moment.
You typically use it for transects and like
typically for transects, but
passing over shifts and stuff, like
yeah,
going into auto XY.
it depends. I usually like to go manually, but if you are doing other stuff or whatever and you want to
relax your hands.
yeah. Or then, for example, I could come out and since we're not on transect, I can get back into the center of Argus view.
Can we come up on another Christmas tree coral?
You guys want to stop and look at this one?
I think we can just keep moving.
What's that?
We can
Keep
keep
moving.
moving. See if
Keep
we
moving,
can
Roger.
find something to sample. These aren't on our sample list, so they're lovely to see, but I'd like to see if we can find something we can pick up.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Looks like I'll have to go around him. So instead of coming up and over, which disrupts the video more, I'll just come out and go around. So the auto altitude there is trying to get to there, but it's holding there. So its goal is 1.3, but it's holding at 1.6, which is why you see it change its altitude a little bit.
That was another good one. Must be in a very good habitat zone for these.
Kind of pausing here at these to
Might
hopefully get a still picture.
come around or maintain my.
What's that?
Want me to come around and get hurricane view? Or?
Oh, I need to get a move on here.
Okay, I'll stay. 33.
I'll come the other way. I'm just under you at the moment. Sometimes we'll pivot around them, but we have our head nicely into the current at the moment, so. You might have to hold him up for a minute, Rennie. Otherwise, I'll have to super zoom.
Rich nav. Hold position. There's a squid or something. It's a jelly in Argus.
What's that?
There's just a jelly in Argus moving funny.
Oh.
Is this one of the sponges you were interested in?
We could take a close look at it and find out.
Sure, we're
I
holding.
know they were
here.
interested in the bright yellow ones, but with the thinner walls. So hopefully Amanda is on.
And zoom in a bit there if you want, Steve. See if auto XY can hold it. I don't think so.
This might be what they already collected. On the last watch. Yep, that would be just confirmed. This is what was already collected on the last watch. So thank you for the zoom, and we can keep moving.
Roger.
Moving, Roger.
Hundreds of urchins.
No kelp or sea otters.
Nope. Although this, I would be really astonished if we saw a sea otter at these depths. These are fragile pink urchins. And back into the mud.
You want to take over for a second?
Sure.
You manage that and the winch? I got to run downstairs real quick.
Okay. Just come up a little bit.
All right, I can
Well.
get him going again if you're not already.
Roger. Bridge nav.
So that's what I call full auto, so it's
Full
doing
auto,
its thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Step 100 meters, bearing 033, speed 0.3. Thank you.
Even though I'm a coral person and I don't work on these urchins, some of my colleagues have interesting uses for them. Abby, who was on the last watch, has been using images of these fragile pink urchins to help train an AI image analysis software to automatically identify them because they're a nice target for that. She was chatting about it right before the watch change. And then a colleague of ours in Florida with USGS, Amanda Demopoulos, often collects these urchins to do stable isotope analysis on because they're a nice source for getting what the background isotope levels are.
You might have to wait for the ship.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty extended on the leash.
Yep.
We're still just stepping to the next waypoint, right?
Yeah, we're going along contour for a bit, and then we'll eventually go upslope. A different direction.
We've got an eel pout and a poacher. Poacher is right by the lasers. Eel pout is off to the left. And then the tilted, it looks like it's just kind of hanging, swimming about. If we're all waiting, Tom would like a zoom on that poacher that's right to the left of the lasers.
Steve? Zoom?
Should have the leash to get closer to it as you.
Sorry. We'll bounce.
Let me know if you need me to come out at all, Jake.
Yeah, can you come out a little bit?
Yep. Hey, puppy.
The dog agrees.
Try to get a little closer. Oh. Take over? Yeah.
I've got someone working on the outside of my house right now, and the dog keeps seeing them through the window and losing it. I keep diving for the mute button.
It's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, we don't usually get to have dogs on the control van.
Haven't seen a dog in 3 months, so. Get closer to it, I think she has a leash, you know?
Okay. Come wide a little bit, Steve.
Tom says he can't tell us exactly what kind of poacher that is, because he would have to see the number of barbels around the jaw and the dorsal fins, and he's just not cooperating, turning around to model that for us.
Yeah. Well, you might have to get ahead there.
Yeah. Maybe get one more zoom, maybe. But
Coming in.
yep, zoom.
Maybe stump him up for a minute, Ernie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bridge nav.
It's full zoom.
Sorry for the bounce. Trying to keep it steady.
Hold position. Thank you.
Certainly cute, even if we can't tell what it is.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Coming wide.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Let's keep along our track.
Yep.
Okay.
Come down about a 1 meter. Yeah, perfect.
Try to catch up a bit.
One of those pineapple siphonophores, I think. Or maybe just an urchin on a rock. Tom's going to give us a guess on that poacher anyway. He says that he guesses it's a big eye poacher, which has less black in the first dorsal fin and often this lighter color overall.
And big eyes.
Is it a glass bottle?
Looks like it, yeah. Think I'll start the move again.
Yes, please.
Bridge nav. (100 meters, bearing 033. Thank you.
This captain really drills the crew. They were all decked out in their spacesuits,
Yeah.
doing all the fire stuff.
Yeah.
They were hustling too.
Keeps them on top of their game.
See enough myctophids that I'm wondering if there's just a cloud of them behind the ROV hanging out.